Okay, we're back with more Yakuza 0. Last week focusing on Kiryu side quest. Today focusing on Majima side quest. I'm gonna go swap to him real quick. Further left, it looks like. Wish I could pass these item upgrades to Majima. I like being able to see enemies on the map like that. Hey, made it without getting into a fight. The dream. Oh, they give us a shared item box. Is that only at the end of the game? Cool. So I'd have to unequip it first, presumably. You shoes. Okay. Change character. Item box. Oh wait, is there a separate tab for shared storage or something? I didn't see one there. Hold on. There's like somebody else I can talk to. It's not that big of an upgrade. Just do Majima here. Any recommended Majima side quest stuff? Obviously, I'm going to keep doing the Cabaret. Because we get like some voice acted content with our platinum hostess as I progress that. Let's do it. Last on duty. So as long as they're not... They don't have the sad face or the green face, we're probably good. This seems perfect. Okay. And am I good to focus entirely on Majima this week? Is there anything I left behind? Kiryu? Talk prefers cute. And if I select them from here, it's always going to tell me who they would be happiest with, right? Should I just look at the face and ignore the stats? Because I have someone that's better and funny, but it doesn't look like it would work. Wait, I want to help over here. Did I miss the opportunity to help? I thought I could just go over there and select without changing characters. I had to press triangle, I guess, was the problem. That was a towel. I misread her hand signal. It might be menu. It would make more sense. I get another person that's they're average, which is nice. Ashtray. Got a bonus order. Nice. Probably do the fever thing here in a second. That's gotta be towel. Hey Johan, how you doing? So I don't know if I understand what to do. A check, please. Like, I assume you apologize if they're mad. Can you extend if they've got this like super happy face? When would you give a gift? Like if they're rich or something? You care about more than fans and money, so should I always do that while I care about fans? I guess I can give girl a reward, which helps with her XP, basically. Send sessions random changes they can happen if they even if they aren't max happy. Okay. Send session will never get me in trouble if I try it though. I think I know all the hand signals now, unless if some of them have different hand signals or the same thing, which I guess is possible. Oh, ladies' glass, probably. I guess there's some that I haven't seen yet. I like that one just there. Session extended. Refill ice, okay. Should I always try to use fever if I have access to it, if I'm going to run out of time anyway? I feel like it's better to do it when you have richer people, right? Was the main benefit of giving a girl a reward morale recovery? Like, what's the difference between give a reward versus praise? This guy's not having a good day. Ladies glass, small glass. Reward costs money, but it's strictly better. Oh, when it extends stays, does that include the like total time at the top of the screen there? You donkey dong. Check out Club Mars. Looks like Deepbot got a gigantic update today. The last update was like a year ago. I don't have a chance to read through the patch notes. I was noticing it when I restarted the bot after the Comcast outage. But one of the things has to do with controlling channel redemptions. They finally added a bot API for that, so that's maybe exciting. So, Club Mars, does Club Mars even get a marker on the map? Odyssey Warehouse, Sunshine. Presumably it's in the area that I'm currently in, right? Which apartment? Oh, really? I thought you said go... Okay. Talk to me when you're ready, basically. That's what it meant. I'm able to get a sledgehammer before I don't think. I was trying to get heat actions off of it, but I don't get any prompts. This guy's fine. Partner with businesses similar to how you buy real estate. So is it just you run up and down the city and talk to storefronts, basically? Okay. See if the link that Leon gave me before also has that listed somewhere. Game FAQs thing. Is it the same where there's like one like NPC in the area that if you max out friendship, you get their business.
Hi.
Table of contents. Sorry. Cabaret Club Czar. Business partners. Okay, I think I found the link that has all of the locations.
Yeah. What?
You say that kind of stuff in front of Yuki and you're dead meat. So I assume the girls you can like snipe from the enemy clubs are the other ones that have like platinum hostess training sequences.
Hi.
Eh?
Club Mars lackeys. I know, we'll solve this with brutal violence. That was rough. Alright, so that's like part one of this side story, and then I can get to another part by continuing to do that minigame. I'm gonna go try to get as many of these Club Mars friendships as I can. I think I've got enough money probably for all of them. Partner with business. Real estate percentage. What's the magic target number for them then? Should be one, I think. Salon Salaryman. Oh, I was turned around, that's why I got confused there. Okay. Should be one here. Must have already gotten that one. This one. Maybe two in the bottom left corner. $1,500. Okay. Guessing the sushi one is the one that I have to actually like develop a relationship to get, since I have to go inside a building for it. Must be one in a long building down here. I thought it was this one. I wish there was a prompt for this, like something floating. I guess this one too. Good. The sushi one is quick. Oh, never mind. So he just partner for free. Okay. I'd like to see at least the first story for the clubs, like we saw the first story for we saw the first story for real estate. And a good chunk of the way into the second story, but then I couldn't play the racing game. That's how the real estate one worked. This one I didn't even have to go into the building.
Hi.
Okay. Ready till they went bankrupt?
Hi.
What?
Sounds like you want to die, asswipe. That works. Only one of them is menacing. That was underwhelming. Well, Mars. What if she's an enemy spy and this is part of her plots? But the tears of defeat begin to fall.
Hi.
What are you laughing at? Everyone in Club Sunshine gets along with each other. You're just working there, yeah. That's part of why I feel so shitty, like hassling these poor Comcast technicians. Like, it's not their fault that the company they work for blows. I really don't understand the whole plain Jane thing with Yuki. Like, what? Maybe that's the joke. I guess they played some funny stuff with her, like not being able to talk to people. That worked, more or less. So partnering just gives you flat fans. It doesn't give you like a fans multiplier or anything like that, right? Once they're happy, it's probably fine. I get a chance to do special training between each Cabaret game, is that right?
はい。はい。真島さん、ご指名ありがとうございます。今日も寒いですね。ごめんなさい。真島さんが急に私に可愛いなんて言うからおかしいやら嬉しいやらで。
Whatever works.
そうですね。最初は話す相手が真島さんでも少し緊張してたんですが、最近はお客さんとの会話もすごく続くようになったんですよ。なんだかお仕事楽しいです。何気ないことですよ。
I like the phonetic sound of the Japanese word for like but or however. Like,
あとは
it does a good job of dividing the sentence into halves better than but does in English. I guess you might say however if you wanted to do that. Now I'm suddenly dropping frames really bad. Uh-oh. I might send them a email here in a second. Keep going for now. It's not an outright outage. Bonsai, right?
真島さん、私が盆栽育ててることよく覚えてますね。私ちらっと言っただけですよ。
Steel trap memory is half the battle.
なかなか覚えられなかったから、私最近日記にその日あったお客さんの特徴や何を喋ったかを書くようにしてるんです。私接客がまだうまくないから、そういうできることからコツコツやっていこうと思って。まあまだまだ全然ですけどね。もっと頑張らないと。
そうや。
はい、そうですね。フル株って言
Frame drops
っ
are
て
getting
も
worse. Let me
まだ
email
働き始
Lyle
め
and
て
Anthony
半
real
年
quick.
ですけどね。私今年大学卒業したばかりですし。それは。
Emailed Anthony and Lyle at Comcast.
実は私内定取れなかったんです。
え？
就職活動失敗して大学卒業後の就職先が見つからなかったんです。
何やと？
I've never seen that before, Johan.
そうですよ。どうせ私なんてどの企業からもお呼びがかからなかった寂しい女ですよ。筆記試験はそこそこいけるんですけど、私すぐ緊張するから面接が苦手で。
I'm not a good liar like most people are either.
上手に嘘もつけないし。はあ、 本当にダメですね、私。
Honesty is a talent.
え？
Honest almost to a fault. It's like Andrea.
真島さん、嬉しいです。私、いっぱい落ちまくりましたけど、結果的にここで働けて
Yeah, that's really
よ
bad.
かったな。は
ほう。
い。
Anthony from
じゃなか
Comcast
った
said
ら
they found the
こうやっ
issue
て
today
社
and
交
cleared
的に
it.
人と話せなかっただろうし、真島さんやみんなにも出会えなかったし。
Maybe 2 leaks popped up
Yeah.
after they plugged the one.
不器用で
I'm
よかっ
glad
たです。
awkward. It's a healthy attitude.
なるほどな。
はい。
Wear
あ
who you
の
are
時
like
公
armor.
園で
Can't
一
be
人
used to
僕
hurt
を見つ
you.
める私に声をかけてくれなかったらと思うと、今でもゾッとします。
ほう。
あの頃はキラリと光るものを感
We
じ
get
た。
to the end of this
10年に
interaction
一
and
人の
I'm
逸材
still
だって
dropping frames really
清
badly.
田さんは言ってましたけど、
I'm gonna pause the recording and see if it passes on its own. Otherwise, we might have to cancel, unfortunately.
清田さん、見る目なさすぎですよね。
いや。それじゃあ、
What do you want to do with a normal day job?
ちょっと前まではやめたいって思ってましたけど、今はまだしばらくはこのお店で頑張っていきたいって思ってるんです。もちろんいずれはまた就職活動して
I
OL
see your
を目指
comment
して
about
も
the
みたい
special
ですけど
training being
ね。
a slog because of having a lot of hostesses to get through, but at least this stuff's voice acted and somewhat
で
interesting.
もこのお店は居心地もいいし、毎日本当に勉強になることが多いので、もっとここで成長してからでもいいかなって。
You can network here.
ひょっとして。
Nani?
確かにそういうのよく漫画でありますね。
If you see it, it's Andrea's favorite Japanese ad. I'll post a link to it in chat here in a second. So I might be so dead on stream right now that nothing's coming through. Long Man is probably the funniest one, but
何ですか、社長さん。
second favorite Japanese ad is this
ユ
one.
キです。よろしくです。
Oh yeah, I found it immediately. Thank you, Google. I think this is it. I do for you, Mr. President. My name is Yuki. It is nice to meet you. You sound more nervous than a foreigner on her first day at a shady bar. That ad is so good. When she says the thing about happens all the time in manga. If you're watching on YouTube and you can't click that link, just Google Japan commercial expectation. Or miracles happen rarely.
なんや。
はい。ちょっと昨日夜遅くに急にうちに来客があったので。
ほう。
Expected guess.
え？
Did I not get any XP
何で
for
すか？
the you could network here comments?
はい。ご心配どうも。お肌は女性の命ですし、お客さんにも失
Okay,
礼
so
ですよね。
sometimes critical feedback gets you more points.
え？
Don't overdo
夜遊
it.
び？いやよくわからないですけど、とにかくよく寝ますね。
Just got an email back from Comcast. Should be clearing up. I was looking at something on a different leg and noise popped in. We made an adjustment on the upstream levels that were too high at the tap before you. If you notice problems with that, let me know. I might have to put in an EQ for your tap. I'll just tell them I'm having really bad. So they're saying that my neighbors were getting too good upstream, and so they've accidentally nerfed my stream. Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording if you're watching on YouTube. We'll try to continue if this cleans up before the stream day ends, but worst case, I'll make it up on the weekend and just stitch this with the next VOD. Hold on. Okay, we're maybe back from Comcast issues. This will have to be a pretty truncated episode, but it's about to do business to try to get up to 1500. I'll keep trying to do that here. 1500 is when we'll get the quest step or whatever. Open for business. Sounds good.
いらっしゃいませ。お客様。
Let me make sure bots are up. I don't think they are. So.
ようこそサチアにご意
Try to do that during this game here. Wow, this guy is not a happy camper at all.
いらっしゃいませ。ごゆっくりどうぞ。
Hey, Ko.
すごいタイプだよ。
ようこそサチアにごゆっくりどうぞ。
盛り上がってきた。
Sorry, I'm kind of like blitzing to restart bots here.
めっちゃタイプ。
Yeah, a lot of rough customers this time. Baby squads.
いらっしゃいませ。
どうもどうも。
どうぞこちらへ。
Man, it is a rough day today. Checking the sound effect here.
ようこそサチア
よろしく頼むよ。
That just raises further questions.
Seems to be working. Guest class large. Yeah, just cancel Tuesday.
ご延長はいかがでしょう。ありがとうございました。
So thank you just slightly increased their satisfaction then basically.
いらっしゃいませ。どうぞこちら。
美人さんだな。
最高や。
I just got a reply from Anthony saying, I found it, you're good to go.
延長で。
ご延長ありがとうございます。
So hopefully that means we're okay. Fingers
フィー
crossed.
バーするで。
We got a full house this time, that's kind of nice.
いいねいいね。
ご延長はいかがでしょう。申し訳ございません。
Apologies.
最高や。盛り上がってきたわ。
ようこそサチアにごゆっくりどうぞ。
Can I do like double fever? Like I notice it makes a sound effect when I get access to more fever.
フィーバーするで。
I think I screwed up a chance to get stuff there.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, I missed it. Shit. What's the penalty for missing check, please? You just don't get the benefits of like giving a gift or whatever?
い いらっしゃいませ。どうぞこちらへ。
They still get checked. It's like doing that is implying that Majima is like doing it personally or something.
よろしくお願いし
か
ます。
わいいな。
ようこそ。
お願いします。
どうぞこちらへ。
ありがとうございます。
Let's refill
はい、
ice.
交換いたします。
ありがとうございます。盛り上がりました。
かわいいな。楽しい。かわいい
お願いします。
今するで。ご延長はいかが。ありがとうございました。
Fine.
いらっしゃい。
最高だよ。
お願いします。ありがとうござい
盛り上
ます。
がるね。
Refill
はい、
ice.
交換いたします。
してます。ありがとうございます。
かわいいね。
盛り上がりました
美
か。
人さんだな。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
I feel like investing in the girls probably makes more sense. I guess for short term, if I'm just trying to get fans, maybe getting an expensive gift is better. But
お願いします。
美人だね。
ありがとうございます。やったー。やったー。
いらっしゃいませ。
どうも。
めっちゃ嬉しい。お願いします。
ご延長はいかがで
10
しょう。
million yen seems really good.
ありがとうございます。
嬉しい。盛り上がり。
今するで。
What did the fever pop up?
素敵だよ。盛り上がってきた。よろしく頼むよ。素敵だよ。盛り上がってきた。
いらっしゃいませ。
かわいいね。
お願いします。やったー。
So what is the performance increase? Does that just increase the amount of XP they get at the end, or does that have like a impact on stats other than XP?
かわいいね。盛り上がってきた。
Cover charge versus food drink sales. Go team. We should have enough now for story progress. So I'll do that, and then we'll do some other side story stuff.
はい。
This is really bad. Challenge from Club Mars. A cabaret club battle. Oh no, he falls down. It's funny. Rare but terrifying method for clubs to duke it out. Two cabaret clubs compete by running their businesses and determining who made more money. Why is that so terrifying? It's the club's prestige on the line.
何やて。はい。
So-called battle has that much influence? This concept is really funny to me.
ああ。
Let's do it. Only we could live in this world. I'll work as much as my salary can cover. And he's like, that's not any different from any other day, right? Let me go save in case I screw this up. I don't know if there's any penalty for screwing it up, but... Sec. I mean, continue to do special training. Rival battles, okay. Karaoke date. Practice a date. I didn't realize that hostess clubs involved going on dates with customers. Triple shine. Read the rules. Okay, it's the same as past ones. Simple interjections or lively interjections. I don't know what the difference is.
Go! 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 Yay!
Oh, I have to press hers too.
Hua! 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 Phew! セクシー大好きこの日この夏 はしゃぐよなラブサーフィンよ生かしとるぜ君がサンシャインサンシャイン君がサンシャインそれシャイン歌う姿がセクシーやで
I like that better than normal karaoke, where you have to like just do interjections like a person in the fan. That's great. That was great. It's like rap ad-libs. Probably made mistakes from not understanding that I was supposed to hit all the lines. "24-Hour Cinderella." They change the tempo sometimes, and I hate that. I don't know why. Like, not the song's tempo, the speed that the bar is moving. And this is the actual actor who plays Majima singing this. That's great. I guess it's the exact same problem as the disco dancing, that the approach speed is janky, right, and hard to do. That was fun. Perfect lesson. Is that because I got the high score on both of them, or got above a 90 or something? Rival battles. I'll go back out and save real quick. So one of them will do disco dancing. I should adjust my lineup, check their morale. Orange happy face is generally fine, is that true? Is it just you're trying to avoid, is there any difference between like a 500 hit points and 1 hit point? Like do I only care about them going to 0 in the middle of the night? Or does lower morale like have a gradient effect on their performance? We'll see who gets crushed.
Oi.
Powerful thing in the world is money. It's pretty true. Running a club takes more than the cash you put in it. Hero runs down the street back to his club. Yeah, exactly. Mars Money Rush kicks out Sunshine guests. Oh, that's rude. Does the same thing happen if I do a rush? Can I lose just a bad RNG here? I think he's gonna beat me.
メニューに
ありがとう、真島さん。
You're already ridiculously further than me at the moment.
ほんまありがとう。
Should I avoid doing rewards here? Does that cut into my profits for the night?
お願いします。
ありがとうございます。いらっしゃい。
また来たで。
お願いします。
灰皿交換いたします。失礼します。
Oh, this is fun.
こちらになります。失礼いたしました。
Is that specifically because I was helping Yuki? Oh, shit.
盛り上がりましょうか。
おしぼり。
真島さんありがとう。
盛り上がって
よくビーバーするで。
It makes people's mood better, it looks like.
いらっしゃいませ。
すっごいタイプだよ。
ご延長はいかがでしょう。ありがとうございます。
Guess I could try doing an extend session. I don't think I'm gonna win this one though.
ようこそ。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
I saved first.
こちらになります。
ありがとうございます。 よろしく。めっちゃ嬉しい。
いいんだね。
嬉しいわ。
ありがとうございました。
Oh really? You don't actually lose your business?
嬉しいわ。お願いします。
Thought you'd have to reload.
ゲストグラス。
わかりました。お願いします。お待ちしてな。
かわいいね。
ご延長はいかが
延
でしょう。
長で。
ご延
Hey,
長ありが
session
とうございます。
extended. I'd love to see it.
ビーバーするで。
めっちゃ嬉しい。ありがとうございます。
どうもどうも。盛り上がってきた。
ありがとうございます。
かわいい。
ありがとうございます。サンシャインにようこそ。
ありがとうございます。
嬉しいわ。
I thought it was just gonna make me reload, basically.
ようこそ。どうぞ。ありがとうございました。ビーバーするで。
ありがとうございます。めっちゃ嬉しい。
I missed a good thing, it looks like.
すっごいタイプだよ。
お願いします。
ありがとうございます。
お願いします。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうござい
よ
ます。
うこそ。どうぞ。ありがとうございます。
お願いします。
レディースグラス。
とう、真島さん。
Ladies, good us.
お待たせ。
美人さんだな。
めっちゃ嬉しい。
ようこそサンシャイン。どうぞこちら。
He's maxed out too, though. Is that gonna be a problem?
お待ちしてました。お願いし
いいんだ
ます。
ね。
アイス交換いたします。
よかったわ。
かわいい
いらっしゃいませ。
な。どうもどうも。
ありがとうございます。ほんまありがとう。嬉しいわ。盛り上がりましょうか。
ビーバーするで。
やった。
Beaver did not make a big difference there. Okay.
ご延長はいかがでしょう。ありがとうございました。
盛り上がってきた。
Green's better than blue, I get
めっ
sense.
ちゃ嬉しい。
Okay, I think we won.
ありがとうございました。
Neat. It'll never not be funny to me, the idea of someone like being injured in battle by anything that's not actual physical battle. I know it's like the most common anime joke of all time, but it's always funny to me. Since she threw the fight, this battle doesn't count. Oh shit. Actual more threatening. God, one of them's in camos.
Nani?
Founder of the 5 stars. Love Jupiter. Okay, I get the naming theme. Which is why we're sunshine, I see. If the 5 stars were 5 digits on a hand, Hino would be the pinky finger. Clearly the worst finger.
Nani?
So are they just the 4 stars now?
What?
They're not going to recruit Club Sunshine. Okay, he's going to say that. I'm up against the Cabaret cartel. Things are going to get a little busy. For Father's Day, Yahan didn't once push up his glasses and have them reflect the light. They meant to say, hey, Father's Day's coming soon. Did you forget to get a gift? You've got us. As in, we're here to save the day to... Did you forget to receive a gift? As in, like, they accidentally said if you're the father that didn't get a gift, you can go buy one for yourself.
Eh?
Forget to receive gifts all the time. You localize the joke well, Yahan, because did you forget to get a gift is, like, subtly different in English. Did you forget to receive a gift? So I could see how in English you can make that mistake, too. Or get can imply that you got it for someone else, whereas receive almost never has that implication. They're about to off Hino. Yeah, no big deal. He's fine. Leave Yuki alone. Rude. Like a cooler. They meant but cooler, not like the thing a cooler. That's funny. Blocks have been unlocked for the thug style. What? 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 Oh, I thought they meant like the ability to block. I mean, it's still crazy that you can get fighting style upgrades from Cabaret battles. I don't know which ones just got unlocked, do I? I assumed you would only get node unlocks from doing like fighting related quests. Upgrades for the interior.
せや
Okay, so presumably I can do more special training. Let me save in case I royally screwed up. Let's do it. Disco date, a pipe. This is the one with all the offbeats. I guess they all kind of emphasize the offbeats, like someone clapping. That's funny, it's even funnier that they translated it badly. You get that with the English shirts. Imports are fun. Forgot the pattern for a second, I think I know it now. Yeah! The fan is great. I always get screwed when I get stuck on an edge like that. I figured this out a couple discos ago, but if you accidentally press into the wall, it locks your inputs for like 1 full second. So if you accidentally do that and then you keep pressing buttons according to what you think is going to happen, it can set you back really far. Oh wow, Yuki. You gotta try. Perfect lesson. Alright, so do I only get special training opportunities between instances of this minigame, or if I go to a side story, will that unlock more special training? So I'd have to do at least one more to get the next step? Okay, that's fine. I like this minigame, so... Virtually in the next game they have this, and they at least let you do one training per girl in between instead of one total. Yeah, that makes sense. They enjoy talking and feeling like lovers. They enjoy long sessions. They like sexy and energetic girls. So this is the one where we want to have higher max health, I guess.
いらっしゃいませお客様
Why? What's wrong with her outfit?
ようこそサンシャイン
また来たで絶品さんやな
ようこそサンシャインどうぞこちらへ
美人だな
おしぼりです
Towel.
いらっしゃいませどうぞゲストグラス
Guest glass.
美人さんだなかわいい最高や盛り上がるね
いらっしゃいませ
楽しく行
どうぞ
こうか
こちらへ
Mega rich. Oof.
こちらになります
最高だよ
It's gonna be mad no matter what, right?
フィーバーするで
I love how mega rich people just suck by default.
いらっしゃいま
また来た
せどうぞこちらへ
美人だね
Not shocked.
ご延長はいかがですか
延長で
ご延長ありがとうございます
Trouble.
ふざけんなよ
お引き取りくださいゲストグラス
The light doesn't bend around him because you're also rich.
どうぞ
Wealthy. These motherfuckers, man. I'll tell you what.
今するで。
めっちゃ嬉し
楽しいな。
い嬉しい
どうぞ。
盛り上がってきたわ。
嬉し
I'm gonna just tell all these guys to fuck off. I know I need their money to succeed, but
いらっしゃいませ。
よろしく。
嬉し
いらっしゃい。どうぞこちら。今日は最高だ。
い嬉しい。いらっしゃいませ。
かわいい。
なるほど。嬉しい。楽しい。
いらっしゃいませ。
よろしく頼むよ。
Disco Elysium is a real work of art, isn't
盛り上が
it?
ってきた。
お願いします。
かわいいね。
ようこそ。
よろしく頼むよ。
Bye bye instead of hey hey.
今するで。
Yeah, this wealthy guy got over his shitty
よろし
attitude.
くお願いします。
楽しませてね。
お願いします。
ご延長はいかがでしょうか。ありがとうございます。
So what do I care about his mood improving when he leaves? Will he come back with a better initial mood in the future? Track individual customers like that?
こちらになります。
頼りにしてます。
失礼します。こちらになります。失礼いたしました。
めっちゃ嬉しい。
They're a happy, wealthy person, which is nice.
よろしくお願いします。
すごいタイプだよ。
めっちゃ嬉しい。ありがとうございます。盛り上がりましたか。
面白いね君。
やった
楽しいな。
ありがとうございます。
盛り上がってきた。
嬉しい。
かわいいな。
Yay! Wow, well, hell of a level for her.
ありがとうございました。
And check the special training. Customer service final. Okay.
それじゃあ、おいおい。なんや。
Zoning out. Don't be creepy.
それじゃあ、
はい。
そうやな。
そう言われればそうですね。真島さんが来るまでこの店閑古鳥が鳴いてましたからね。あれからずいぶん変わりましたよね。
You were number one.
そういや、
懐かしいですね。最初女の子3人しかいなかったですからね。ちょっとやめてくださいよ。
まったく。
I can't tell if that was middle or good.
まあ言われて悪い気はしませんから。
そういや、
No, I thought it was great, Johan. I totally got the joke you're going with on both of them.
そうですね。確かに普段の生活でも気軽に接することができるようになった
Datasaur
気
is
がし
cool.
ま
Is
す
a。cooler.
昔はコンビニの店員さんとかとの会話でも少し緊張してましたけど。何を言ってるんですか、真島さん。どうしたんですか？すごく深刻そうな顔してますけど。え？
I like the way that they position Majima as like a non-creepy uncle. Like this minigame could be really gross if Majima was a creep.
何かあった際はちゃんと守ってくださいね。
This is a very difficult needle to thread. It still has some bits that are a little... Like the fact that there's no voice acting in any of the side quests except the like platinum hostess ones, and then only one-sided is a little bit eye-rolly, but... Nah, I guess I can't complain, I want more voice acting.
最初は緊張しましたけど
Would be
楽しかったで
convenient
す
for
よ。
storing
と
beer.
ても真島さんに抱いてたイメージも変わりましたし。あ、いや、その恥ずかしくて言えませんよ、そんなこと。嫌です。なら私がどう思ってるか当ててみてくださいよ。
You think of me, dependable boss. Between circle and triangle here. I can't tell if triangle is meant jokingly. This is where I want that Dreamfall chapters inner monologue thing. Probably the wrong choice here.
してますもん。これからも頼りにしてますよ、真島さん。
Yeah, it looks like that was the worst choice. Sketchy one was probably the best one.
あ、まだ大丈夫ですけど、もうそろそろ準備させてもらえれば助かります。
ひょっとして。
真島さんには何でもお見通しですね。たまに怖くなりますよ。
Someone spent, is it like her brother or her dad or something?
そうですね。まあ、私の大事な男性だと思いますよ。
They're doing the very specific wording here, right?
はい、ありがとうございます。そのつもりです。でも、どうしたんですか？声震えてますけど。はあ、つくづく変な人ですね、真島さんは。
Well, I really lost points for picking dependable boss.
お疲れ。
はい。
I don't know what it is with that mechanic in games. Here's 3 prompts. One of them gives you +2, one of them gives you +1, one of them gives you +0. And it's completely arbitrary most of the time. Boyfriend? Not enough Quaaludes in this game for the 80s. What you talking about, Yoda? I think this game, some of the ones with Yuki were better in that it made sense which one was probably the best one to pick. Ugh.
なんやて？ええ。
And? It's definitely her brother or dad or something. Paternal instincts. Substory number 69. Nice. I tend to dislike the sub-stories on the whole just because the lack of voice acting and mocap gets in the way, but shit like this is funny that they're having to make this work in the engine. The camera angle and their position is hysterical. Protagonists are dumber in the sub-story for comedy. I think that's part of why the Miracle Johnson one was so fun for me, that it was full of little things like that.
Hey.
It's her dad. Robbing the cradle. Love is blind, it clouds your judgment.
Hi.
It's been a while since. Think we're crossing any ethical boundaries? It's a free country.
Yeah.
Keep observing.
Yeah.
Nani? What?
Yeah. Eh?
How can you be so forgiving? You haven't changed one bit, Dad. Hello, son? What are you two doing here? Yeah, about that. Mia Con Man. What a classic. Oh, that's nice. Hiding right in her eye line was going to work. Me, Majima, who doesn't stand out at all in this society. The more Looney Tunes a side quest is, the more interested I am in it, to be honest. Sorry, sorry.
ああええ
Yeah, so I guess I can't really tell from this side quest, but is hostess saying like, is that a fine thing? Like your family's not going to think ill of you? Like how in the States, if you become a stripper or something, I understand it's not a comparable profession. But is it anywhere close to that? Or is Yuki's dad just a really cool guy? Like, there shouldn't be a stigma about being a stripper in the US, but there is. So that's the end of Yuki's storyline, basically, and then there'd be a separate one for I, which would be a bunch of hours to get one side story, so I'll go look for something else with Majima here. It's not stripper level, but it's not that respected. Okay. More tied to the place they work than the position. Okay. Alright, so what should I be looking for here? Any recommendations, things to focus on? I have some side quests on the map already. I can try to check what those are. Substories. Farthest east, south of the river. One I haven't started. Oh, what should I do as Kiryu? I guess I'll try to do that next time I come back.
金持ってへんか
あさ
通行料払ってもらおうか
やるんか
Yeah, I noticed they use the term cast, which I like. It seems like it's maybe more like socially comparable to being like a drag queen. Like in an area that's, you know, supportive of that. Obviously, there's still a lot of families that would be very uppity and shitty if their son was a drag queen. But that's kind of like an acting gig. You're playing a character, right? So, is it all the way south or all the way east? Farthest east, right?
なんなんや
What the hell? Benedict Timothy Kittleton Cumbercat III. Performers at a drag show in San Francisco is a fair comparison. Okay, that makes sense. So you might have family members who are really mad about it or something if they're like super conservative, but hold on, my cat is being bad. Hiding Man. This one? What's with this weirdo? 1 second, I'll be right back. Benedict Timothy Kittleton Cumbercat. It's Andrea's fault. They left food out. Can't blame you, Ben. Crab Rangoon leftovers just sitting out. Some people's cats, man, I'll tell you. What the hell? Where are your pants? Borrow your pants? No self-respecting young fellow with a whole future ahead of him could go out in town with his underwear exposed, right? Rip him off me. Menacing man. Pantsless man. It's fun. Explain from the top. Bontan Hunter. Bontan pants are like school uniform pants. They got high waists and they're super puffy around the thighs. The cool kids wear them.
Oh. Yep.
Not a tattoo. A tiny student backpack. Student backpack? I'm 1 story richer and a shit ton of time poorer.
Huh?
Majima's funnier in his side quest too, I think. I think just because Kiryu is like the eternal straight man. I think that's why, like, whatever you're doing has to be suitably silly, like Miracle Johnson. Alright, so I might have a marker for it now. Hold on. Rise of the Dragon. Taco. Is it the name of a store or street? North of the river? Okay, thanks. Ah. Thank you. don't you just drop the hobby?
Oh.
3 card sets. The tuxedo. Peelin's better than stealing. Wow, he's got a boss health bar. Trying to heat action in there. But... Nice. What's this one-eyed chump? It's Ryuji-kun. What?
Hi.
It's a classmate of ours. You supposed to be a 6th grader?
Hi.
Okay, so he's specifically going for high school students. He doesn't want the pants. Got it. Yay! Yakuza, huh? Seemed quite a bit harder than some of the Yakuza I've fought. Buff, really tall 6th grader. I thought maybe they're going to go with the thing where he just got left back so many times that he was still in elementary school.
Boy.
Sounds like a personal problem. Rest till I rip those pants off your ass.
Hi. Ne ne.
Turn the pants. I meant to pick up an item on the ground there. You're that guy. Holding onto the pants now would just be cruel.
ああは何やて おい
And just back to the restaurant again. Just a bunch of mooks. Paths might cross again for Yuji. Okay, it's fun. Beating up children hype. Alright, any other ones to focus on here? Any mini-games I should be doing? This we already did. Bowling. We've done plenty of disco. I don't think we can do more of that. Go check this dragon and tiger real quick. One near a nearby vendor. Out of eggs again.
おい
Eggs.
え
Okay. Oh, weird. So are these like, I haven't seen this at all. Are these like temporary weapons that break or something? I'm not prepared to mess with this. I guess I'll say yes.
Ah. Hi.
Oh shit, I dismissed a pop-up by accident. Yeah, no kidding. The one that I kept approaching on the last one you said? Must be the one down here, in front of the store. Calculated.
Boy.
What's the matter? Why's a grown man bawling in public? I love the idea that it's so, like, culturally offensive for a man to cry in public that Majima will stop at nothing to stop it. Get yourself a fake. That's the answer. Or early when I was dating Andrea, We both like Zelda a lot, so I was getting her like an emerald, a ruby, and a sapphire because Zelda. And like my budget was like, you know, like $100 for a necklace. And one of our mutual friends who doesn't really understand what it's like to not come from wealth was like, oh, I'll take you to a great place to find a sapphire. And he took me to Tiffany's. And I grew up poor. I'd never been in a Tiffany's before. I'm like, oh, Tiffany's probably has stuff in like the $100 to $200 range. The sapphires they showed me were like $16,000. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm gonna pop over to Jared's. Nice meeting you, though.
Huh?
Could you use your shady connections and hook me up with a forger? This guy out. Said alley, but I didn't see any in an immediate nearby alley. From the heart, maybe? Look in the alleys. It's where I am right now. Okay. So there's one directly in front of me here. It's where he turned to face. Oh golly, I don't know if I remember where that is. I think I only ever just went there when the map told me where to go. Just south of where I am? Okay, thank you. Phone cards. Don't touch the merchandise. Japanese, very hard to understand.
Huh?
Exact opposite of what you should do in this situation. Bad trouble.
What?
Piece of easy cake. Bond's business card. If he can make forged telephone cards, if he can make a necklace. Dragon, tiger, and equipment. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Is that like, can you get, is there information encoded into the characters that represent numbers in Japanese or something? Like they're like homophones or something? What's this guy, right?
What?
Forging is forging, just like science is science.
Oh? Eh?
Thank you very much, Majima-san.
はい
Maybe I should check in on them. That seems like a good idea.
ねえどうです
I kind of just want to play a like a higher quality version of the disco minigame from this. Better approach times and similar tracks. Is he not in this alley?
最近付き合い取れない
いや
聞いちゃうね
Oh, up here?
なんやて
Loverboy's in trouble. Oh god. Yeah, I like when they do fun stuff with the animation engine. Benedict! Stop knocking Andrea's cans over.
What?
Probably should throw those out tomorrow. No traitor here, you dishonor us. Now you die. They're Falchion. Oh, I can't get his sword? That sucks. Oh, that's on the corner of the wall, too. That guy is extremely dead. Remember to mash circle. Old guy, care to explain? I forgot to tell him you were coming.
Yeah.
Are you sorry, Majima-san?
Ah.
Necklace is easy. Forgers are forgers, got it. What was the... I think Darkstar mentioned a Kiryu thing I need to do. What's that? I might swap over to that if there's... Damn good work.
Hi.
That Tiffany sapphire necklace is kind of when I realized, like, wow, rich people will just pay any, like, money means nothing to them. There's a certain level of rich where you just spend money on things for no reason.
Huh?
It's so adorable. Real challenge to get. Stores can't keep it in stock. Yeah, right. After Andrea took me to Las Vegas, that was fully enshrined, because like every store in Las Vegas is full of stuff like that, and you're like, fucking really? How can there be this many stores? How are they not out of business? Like, I try not to shy away from saying that, you know, Andrea is rich, and because I'm married to her, I'm effectively rich too. Like, I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not rich because we're not billionaires, but like, we're definitely not could afford to waste $16,000 on a sapphire necklace rich. So I can feel a little bit better about myself, even though people are starving to death in the streets. If I ever get there, I give everyone in the stream audience permission to hunt me down and shoot me. That necklace, it's actually... Aw! Why did you trick me?
What?
This calls for the Majima touch.
Eh?
Well, good for him for being honest. Feel bad for buying particle board furniture from Target. In for a yen, in for a kilo. How are you gonna fix this, Majima? Necklace is fake. Your boyfriend's a dingbat. Can't fault you for being upset, but he wanted to see you happy. Went through a lot to get that fake. The kind of trouble you don't want to know about. Aw, this is actually kind of cute. She used to be... I thought they were gonna do like a comedy thing. She'd say, fuck him, slap him, and walk away. Yakuza's corny, though. I'm fine with corniness.
Oh?
I don't want it. Aww.
Hi.
That's nice. Secret wallet.
Hi.
I'm glad that ended with that. Like, I think that's what I like about Yakuza, like that side quest right there, compared to something like Grand Theft Auto, which I know that they're not the same genre, but like, you'd have I can imagine a similar side quest in a Rockstar game, where it's just all down to like conning the girl, right? And doesn't kind of have that corny optimistic twist at the end. A dangerous town full of scumbags. Trying to grab this guy to take his weapon. Yeah. If you know they're not the same genre, yeah. It's useful as a foil. Like, the whole honorable criminal thing is, like, borderline silly for Majima and Kiryu, but... Yakuza got marketed as a Japanese GTA here in the West. Yeah, I have a friend that was like, hey, I saw you play Yakuza 0. Should I play it? I'm like, yeah, you totally should. It's very good. Not warning him that it's basically a visual novel. Red Chestnut the Squirrel. Don't have a dad. Got to know the doll girl. Is this like a UFO crane game character, basically? We had somebody join a couple episodes ago, and I mentioned that this is a visual novel, and they got kind of upset. I'm like, I don't know, man. The combat's not super robust. I feel like the draw of the game is that it's a really well-written TV show in video game form that occasionally has silly mini-games in the middle, right? Like, I think this has more in common with Shenmue than it does with, what's like an actual modern brawler game. Yeah, you're trying to get narratively funny heat actions, exactly. I'm definitely not. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Side story? I saw the little thought bubble pop up. Designer brand name purse. Does that kind of thing get logged? I'm guessing no. Alright, you answered my question about Kiryu, and I totally wasn't paying attention. Let me scroll up. And... Pocket Circuit Racing. Major quest minigame chain, do around half of it. And that's, where is that for Kiryu? Like, what part of town is it in? I'll do part of it here. I'll either do some weekend makeup after Star Trek this Saturday. I'll definitely keep playing. I'm gonna keep doing side content until we get to 37 hours on the live split timer, and that's when I'll go push the end game. Northwestish. Thanks. Wonder they don't let you characters swap from any save point. I mean, I guess they only want to. They don't want to like remember Majima's position. But they could always load me back in at the Cabaret Club. Random items on the ground you use for heat actions, the same as consumables in JRPGs. Well, because they are encounter bound, because you can't pick up that kettle and like save it to use somewhere else, right? JRPG with the beat 'em up combat system. Yeah, but they have such like niche use cases. You're pretty much just using the weapon for the heat action. So like, why would you save it? It's not gonna. There's not like a big difficulty spike in this game. I can conceive of a JRPG combat that drains all my MP and I need to use a high ether to recover it, right? But I can't envision a combat in this game where I absolutely have to have a tea kettle. So you can get postcards too. Does this unlock once you get a certain number of side quests completed or something? Or once you get one? Oh, Kiryu really likes the DJ. Kind of condiment to put on a sunny side up egg. Hot sauce. Since then, we haven't exchanged a single word. I put ketchup on my eggs. The hell is this goofy ass radio show? They actually read postcards live on the air? Million yen? Alright, this is making me like Kiryu more. Than Majima thinks this is stupid. And he's gonna do it just for the money. Makes you question the value of money. 1,000,000 yen means nothing to you, Majima. Yeah, it's for the same reason why you don't hoard items in Breath of the Wild. I know people complain about durability in that game, but I love it. I can write about the experience on a postcard. I appreciate that we saw the Kiryu one first. Where oh, this is so cool! I love this station. Northwest-ish, we said. Yes. My hard stop is a very hard stop, so... probably, if it looks like I'm about to get sucked into a cutscene, I might go try to do something quick. Old Pocket Circuit Stadium. I feel like I did something here before this game won the vote. Like I did like one thing of Pocket Circuit, I thought. It sounds familiar. Okay. There we go. This place looks so different from everywhere else in the game. View the tutorial. Boost, stabilize, fast forward. Click.
じゃあ始めるぞ。頑張れ。フルスロットルだ。いい調子だ。
The idea that falling out of lane is like making a mechanic out of like kind of a shitty component of Hot Wheels. I think I understand. Triangle and circle. Oh god. Okay. Hopefully the first raise is enough to not have to mess with that too much. Is this Kiryu only?
カズマくんのライバルは大会の常連者だ。金星なるか。注目のカズマくんは緑レーンだ。みんなスタンバイしているな。出遅れるなよ。みんな位置につけ。レディー。みんな頑張って。
スロットルだ。
逆転へのブーストだ。おっと飛び出しそうだ。
Is there anything stopping me from just mashing circle preemptively?
これからよ。
みんなのカスタマイズが光っている。
順調やな。いい感じ。
何が起こるかわからないのがポケサーだ。こっから抜くぜ。
順調順調。
ポケサーなら下克上も大歓迎だぜ。
Social standing can be turned on its head.
トップを走り続けている。レースもおっとついにカズマくんがカズマくんトップの座を明け渡す。おっとカズマくんのマシンが抜かれてしまった。どんな嵐してるの。
So I only get one chance to boost in the whole race.
足元を救われるなよ。もっと走れ。
もらったな。
いよいよファイナルラップだ。みんなのカスタマイズ。おっとここでカズマくんは4位。完走おめでとう。勝者は
くそ、なんということだ。
待ってるぜ。
A lot of the comedy in this game is the like Chad Vader effect of just like taking this like badass Yakuza guy and having him be silly. These are all just things I already have, right? Okay. You just buy them with cash, basically? Kiosk in here. I'll sell some too. Can I just assume that anything that's expensive is worth it? I guess I could just buy one of everything. Excuse me. Those all seem worse than the other tires. Guess that's better. Specialization.
よし、じゃあ始めるぞ。このコースは
頼んだ。
挑戦者の目からはすごい。注目のカズマくんは青レーンだ。みんなスタンバイしているな。出遅れるなよ。みんな位置につけ。レディー。みんな頑張れ。
I assume that there's like some rubber banding, so saving the boost to the end is the way to go.
静けたなのか。
なかなかやるな。先行くぜ。
何が起こるかわからないのがポケサーだ。先頭を走る。レースも後半戦に突入。おっとカズマ君のマシン首位陥落。ついにカズマ君がトップ。カズマ君トップの座を明け渡してしまった。
それで行くぜ。
逆転へのブーストだ。いよいよファイナルラップだ。踏ん張れるか。もの首位でゴール。
俺の勝ちだ。
走りをありがとう。
Really like the slowdown for that. It's funny.
俺の勝ちだ。
Good for you, Kiryu. Was some thrilling racing
また参
there.
加してくれよな。よし、じゃあ始めるぞ。
It says manage many tough
こ
sections,
のコ
but
ースは勢いだけじゃ
that's just a
越えられ
joke,
ない
right? The whole thing is automatic. You press one button.
中心にそびえ立つ巨大な
I guess you press
ループ。
stabilize after you press that one
スピードで
button.
突破しよう。
A giant loop.
俺のゴーレムタイガー。
Golem
挑戦者の
Tiger.
目からはすごい気迫が感じられる。
Probably
カズマ
not.
君は打ち勝つことができるのか。注目のカズマ君は黄色レーンだ。みんなスタンバイしているな。出遅れるなよ。みんな位置につけ。
I guess that's why you're allowed to fast forward.
少し見遅れたか。一度失速。おっと。
Look at all those speed losses.
ここで止まってしまうのか。よいしょ。
Looks like he's gonna cry. I love it.
動けなくなってしまい、ここでリタイアとなります。
Immobilize.
勝者はご覧の通りだ。熱い声援あり。
So where do I go to get better car parts? Is there like a shop somewhere outside of here? Oh. Part of town is the pawn shop in. Try to win as many races as possible, I guess. Oh, this is all just stuff that's strictly better. Okay.
ありがとう。
Yeah, exactly. Randomly get them from vending machines. I love these. I should buy another. No, maybe another time. So does like grip help with going over grass or something? On your comic link here. It's exactly what this menu music should sound like.
よし、じゃあ始めるぞ。
Trade the deed to one of my restaurants. Jump and
この
zigzag.
コースはパワー。
頼んだぜ。俺のゴーレムタイガー。
I want to hear him say Golem Tiger every
カズマ
time.
君の
That's
ライバルは
fun.
大会の常連者だ。金星なるか。注目のカズマ君は青レーンだ。みんなスタンバイしているな。出遅れるなよ。 みんな位置につけ。少し手遅れたか。
Oh shit. Probably should have said that.
どんな階段を踏んだ気合がマックスに伝わっているようだ。すごい挙動でレースで戻る。
I'm catching up after that.
そのまま行けよ。足元をおっと、ここでカズマ君のマシンがちょんをつけよ。
I really looked like this one wasn't going to happen without a boost anyway, so... So if I get a better battery, does that give me an extra boost? See sad Kiryu again.
勝者はご覧の通りだ。
くそ、なんということだ。
I think I could have won even if I saved the boost.
ああ、
A rude question. It's a tricky word for someone your age. Very unkind of your mother. I need to clear this up, or we're never going to get back to pocket circuit racing. People averaging can hurt their feelings. That was a good way of dealing with it. I'm very abused by it. If this continues, there'll be no more pocket racing. It says the most story content of any side stuff. Okay. Aw. Kiryu's great. A good person who's involved in the Yakuza.
ああ、
I like that they try to style that as though like Kiryu and Majima are just like good dudes and not like doing this weird, oh, the mafia is actually a good thing sometimes narrative, right? No, these two dudes are pretty good dudes. Yeah, I think it's fun. Pawn shop, he said. Convenience store, discount store. And the one on the bottom, Don Quixote. Which is north of Don Quixote. Oh, I didn't even see it on the bigger zoom. Okay, thanks. Trying to play pocket racing. Don't fight me. Is this the only Yakuza game that takes place in the 80s? Oh, they're all in the present. Interesting. Must have made this one particularly fun to develop. One thing and one thing
い
only.
らっしゃいませ。
Killer bee.
ありがとうございました。
Bumper plate.
いらっしゃいませ。
Is that the only thing that is? Which alley is it? Is it marked on the map? Probably go start it near the empty lot up here.
ちょっと寄ってきません。お客さん、どうですか？今日は遊んで帰りませんか？
Still like that when he's in his 20s, yeah.
ちょっとお前。会社欲しいな。
Not a real NPC. I see where the empty lot is, but is it actually like by the empty lot? If it came about 8-year-old kid, you would have them be exactly the same. Oh, here we go. What's the password? What do you want? Password protected.
Oi.
Weird business you run here. This will forever be one of life's great mysteries. It looked like he went towards the empty lot. No? I didn't see where he ran to. Well, maybe he's the new exclamation point in the north end of the alley, probably.
Whoa.
World of Warcraft's fault.
Oi.
Is that risky? Many friends died to get password. Tell me the password.
Nani?
Do a job for me. Taihei Boulevard East, find restaurant, Yurakute. Plans for today and tomorrow's weather. Passed it, didn't I? Wow, there's a lot of these, aren't there? Yurakute. In front of Yurakute. Ask about plans for today and tomorrow's weather. Is it not actually a marked restaurant? It said it's on Taihei Boulevard, right? See anybody with a talk bubble? Or maybe it's the exclamation point on Taihei East. I feel like 8-year-old Kiryu game would be awesome. It would be like Bully, but like Yakuza instead of mean-spirited. Maybe that's, if I had to use one like term to describe what I don't like about Rockstar games, they all feel very mean-spirited.
Oi.
You fight first. I was gonna fight her. I'd be interested in playing San Andreas. Good memories of watching a friend play that in high school. It seemed like it had like peak. We're not gonna let the graphical fidelity of this game hold us back from adding a bunch of weird bullshit to it, right? So it has a stupid number of mini games, and there's like experience from riding bikes and working out and eating hamburgers and stuff. That sounds fun to me. I'm pretty sure Vice City is the game that convinced me to never 100% a game again, because I 100%ed that. It was not worth it at all. Movie date. Rain at noon.
Hmm?
100%ed. 100% Vice City. Watched a friend play a lot of San Andreas. Never played it myself. Unaware of a lot of the memes through cultural osmosis. Played maybe like 4 hours of GTA 4. And I think I own GTA 5, but never played it. Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of South Park. Everybody sucks, kind of. And there's some South Park that I like, but... I think it manages to be more just generally pessimistic than South Park, even. Movie date. Party in my pants. Reading at noon. You quite useful. Code word for next business deal. Oh, his smoking animation has him put the cigarette to his nose in the normal engine. Broken shotgun. Capitalize the first letter. Oh my god, they're not going to ask me to type this, right? Is that
Nani?
just hard to remember or pronounce? Subo Tenu Higa Ukido with capital S.
何勝手に俺らの視界に入ってきてんの。おい、聞こえてますか？
Sorry, I had to reply to a message. Say the password. Oh my god. So mean. I like they remind you to capitalize the S. 10 new. Oh shit, I didn't mean to submit it. God, I keep hitting circle to back. I think I have to press triangle to back. You technically go back to the, or does it tell you in your like sub-stories list if you forget? I wonder how this works in Japanese, if it's just like a really complicated thing to remember. It's working on me because I don't speak Japanese, but... Square is back. Good, that's it. They're reflecting on his day. That was fucking awesome. I feel like I just got some lame sub-stories last week with Kiryu. That's a bummer. And I was talking shit about them, but... We're gonna have to buy each of these. Yeah, that was great. Fish with the face of a human. Pretty much is those two items, right? God damn it. Oh, that'll put us at time. Give me your sword, dude. That guy is really dead. He's fine. Segata Sanshiro, Segata Sanshiro. Speaking of great Japanese commercials, I think Longman is still my favorite. If you've never seen that, you should Google it. There's one that's a compilation of all the Longman commercials as they came out over, like, I think it was a couple years. I'm convinced that Trey Parker sings the song, because Trey Parker is fluent in Japanese. I haven't found credits for it anyway, but it sounds just like him. Segata Sanshiro is the voice of Iwao in Japanese Shinfu. That's awesome. Segata Sanshiro. If you haven't seen those commercials, just Google Segata Sanshiro. It's Sega Saturn campaign is this like badass guy that would beat you up if you didn't play enough Sega Saturn. It was pretty funny. All right, that's fun. I've got to make up some time here. We lost like an hour and 10 minutes because of Comcast today. So I might do some of that this weekend, but we'll definitely play until we get to the 37-hour mark. So I'll do about an hour of Pocket Circuit Racing next week. And then we'll wrap up the story from there, and we'll see what time is remaining to switch to another voting system game. Thanks, folks.